Okay, so we already know what various types of input. So the last thing that I'm going to explain is about labels. We can have input, but we need to explain to the users that what is this input for. We need to make label. Form labels are used to associate an explanatory text to a form field using the field's ID. It means the label is to explain what is this input text for. Let's say I want the user to input his first name in this input. So I can just make a label that it is first name. Clicking on the label focus its associated field. So it means checkbox are toggled and radio buttons are checked. So labels are both a usability and accessibility feature and are required in order to pass the accessibility validation. So I can just show you with this detail. Okay. Now let's make this form in details, and I will explain one by one. So this form contains two pages, the page number 1 and the page number 2. So you need to include all the code, and then you can save it in your folder. Let's say it is form 01. In my case, I will just put as form 01, and then I will open it. So this is a form. Yeah, let's skip this one because now we cannot do anything with the method and with action. Input. So the input name, subject, the type is hidden. Hidden means, yeah, we do not provide the information to the user, but this is for the developer or programmer. We will need this one later if we connect to database or connect to the JavaScript or connect to other web pages. Field set. So we learned about the field set before. We can create the title. In this case, the title we can write in the legend. It is the academic information. We create a label. The label is for degree. So it shows about the degree, where the degree contains of Bachelor of Art, Bachelor of Science, Master of Business Administrator. And this has a value of BA, this value is PS, this value is MBA. So you know the select means we can select only one. Okay. If it is multiple, then we can have we can select multiple options. PR is break line. We go to the next line, and then label. Yeah, this is the label for the next input, which is student ID, and the type is password. Maybe this is for the privacy reason we cannot show to other people. The next field set is the personal details. So the personal details contain of first name. So we have the label of the first name, and then it is an input for a text. And then there is another label, last name, and there's also an input for the last name. And then the gender, it will be a type of radio. So this radio button, this is the input gender, the type is radio, and the label is male. This is another radio button, and this is a label female. Correct? It means, yeah, we go to the next line, and then there is a label email, and then we want to make an input of text of email. The last part is term condition. It is a text area with the columns and rows. Read only. What is read only? So you cannot modify. So if you want to just give information to the users without any modification, yeah, you can put the read only options. And the last one is the submit. Yeah, you need to submit to the database, save the information to the database, and then, yeah, if you want to clear, yeah, you can just click reset clear form, then everything will be stored as the original. So you can select, for example, this one, first name BB, and then last name CC, the female, and then this is the email address, and then you can clear. So if clear, then it goes back to the original values. Okay, those things about the form. Next, about frame. So the frame, now many people do not use frame because it's the old style of web. Maybe I will just explain shortly about this frame. In old days, people use this frame with the top, left, and right. So frames provide a way to show multiple HTML documents in a single web page. And the web page can be split into separate views horizontally and vertically. So frames were popular in the early ages of HTML development, but now their usage is rejected. Because when you need to create this frame, you need many HTML forms. So it is complicated to manage all the files. That's why now people just try to put everything in one file. But it is better to know about this one because some websites are still using frames. And frames, yeah, this is the most complicated part. The frames are not supported by all user agents. The user agent means browsers, search engine, and etc. So if you have multiple frames in one page, it is not available for the search engine. Sometimes your web page cannot be found with the Google or any other search engine. That's why people do not want to use this frame. But if you want to make website with is hidden from the search engine, then yeah, you can use this frame. The no frames element is used to provide content for non-compatible agents. So even though we have no frames, but still there is no good advantage for using the frames at this stage. So I will just explain a little bit about this one. So in the old days, people use different kind of HTML. So they have left panel, they have middle panel, we have the right panel, and everything, it will be combined into a big HTML file. So let's see. Let me make it as quick. Okay. So this is the frame.html. And then let me make this as left frame. And then let me make this as middle frame. And let me make the last one as the right frame. Okay, now I will run the frames. So you can see there's left frame, middle frame, and right frame. And actually you can adjust the size like this one. And you can see here the title is from the head, and then the frame set. So frame set means when you create the page at the first time, so the left, middle, and right, they have different size. So the left side we have 180 pixels, the right side we have 150 pixels, and the middle is the remaining. So it depends on the size of your monitor. And then because we define already 3 different parts, so the first part will be the left, for example this one, the next will be the middle, and the next will be the right. So actually you can define many, you can define 4. Okay. And you can also define top and bottom. Means you can define the frame set for the top, and then you can define the frame set for the middle, you can define frame set for the bottom. Yeah, we can have also like this one. It is the frames demo 2, and I will make the head.html. So if I run this frame demo 2, so you can see there's a head. Okay, usually in the head you will see like option or menus, and then you will see what are the contents of this website, and then maybe if you click here the right frame will be changed, something like that. So this one is also manageable or adjustable. Okay, so that's the very basic of HTML syntax and comment and tag. Okay. Hopefully you can have some like a basic understanding. And nowadays, you don't need to worry about the HTML because there are some framework. So I'm going to explain about Bootstrap. It is a front-end UI framework that is commonly used by people these days. So I'm going to explain about the Bootstrap and one example about Bootstrap. Bootstrap, what is Bootstrap? Okay. Before I explain about Bootstrap, we need to understand about what is front-end. We will discuss more about front-end at the week after mid-exam, but for the first, I think you may need to understand the front end because whenever you create the Django later, you need to make HTML first. So maybe this is only the introduction. You will have more ideas for the front end later. UI or user interface, or sometimes we call it front end. Now there are many frameworks that we can use. Web design requires a lot of efforts, and different purpose require different types of web. If you are using for e-commerce, of course it is different with the government side. If you are making a blog, of course it is different with the data visualization. So different purpose will have different interface. And the device also vary. Sometimes people want to use mobile, sometimes people want to use with the gadget and etc. And OS is also different. Some of you use Windows, some of you use iOS, some of you may use Linux, or if you are accessing using mobile, you use Android and etc. So it's complicated in order to make a good user interface. So some existing framework exists. So when you want to use a framework, it will assist the development phase. So you don't need to create from scratch from the HTML and CSS and etc. You can just use the framework and then call the function. Some existing framework, Bootstrap, you can go to design, foundation, semantic UI, pure, and etc. So nowadays there are so many frameworks developed for this UI for the web user interface. So if you want to see, there is a Bootstrap Studio. So in the Bootstrap Studio, you can run you can make a new design, and then it's very easy. You can select any design, you can select any template. Let's say I'm going to use this template. You want to create it, and then you will get the design. So you don't need to make the HTML from scratch, and you don't need to define the color and etc. And from this page, you will get the oops, wait a minute. You will see that this is the index.html. This is the about us.html. So this is about features.html. So you can go for each section, they already created for you. And then you can see this part. So they have the option whether you want to see it from your mobile, or you want to see it from your gadget, tablet, or you want to see it from your laptop, or you want to see it from your desktop. So it is adjustable. If you create from your HTML from scratch, then you need to define the size. That's why now people just use this one. If you can find a good user interface like this one, you can just use it, no problem. And actually they also provide you can you can find this HTML code. It means I think you already know some of them. HTML and the head, you learn about meta, link, and etc. So if you understand the basic command of the HTML, it will be easy for you to redesign from this one. It means you don't need to make everything from zero. Use this one and modify it. Okay. But the issue is there are so many frameworks. How to select the best framework? Yeah, for me, I recommend you to use Bootstrap because it is the most common one. But yeah, it depends on you. What kind of project that you want to do. For this class, as you know, you need to make a final project. It depends on your project itself. If you need to have a lot of operation, CRUD operation, maybe you need to select the best framework for this CRUD. Or if you are doing with the analysis or visualization more, then select the framework that is good for visualization. And select the open source. Okay. I know money is important. So if you need to use some framework with some payment, of course, it will be difficult for you. Just find open source. There are so many open source these days. And then what is the software pattern? It is important. When you deal with the framework, there are some of them we use MVC, so we will learn later. Model View Control, or MVA, Model View Analysis, or MVP, Model View Pattern, and so on. Hosting requirement. So whether you need some setup or non-setup. Easy installation. So some framework requires to be installed in a computer. And learning curve. Of course, some frameworks is not easy to understand the code. And what are the libraries? Is there any database to connect with? And what are the documentations? Is there any community that you can discuss with, or if there is any errors, how can you handle it? Okay, so this is also important. And whether they create updates regularly. And whether it is easy for creating the extension and the availability. So those aspects are the things that you need to consider when you select some framework. So I will just introduce Bootstrap. Okay. As you may know, then this class will cover many things. Okay. Not only HTML, but we will learn Django. We will learn a little bit Python. We will learn about JavaScript. We will learn a little bit about CRUD and etc. So there are so many things in this class. I cannot explain all the things in one semester. So I will just introduce this one. Hopefully you can explore more later about the Bootstrap. The advantage of Bootstrap, if you have had some experience with any front-end framework, you might be wondering what makes Bootstrap so special. So here are some advantages why one should opt for Bootstrap framework. You can save a lot of time because you can see it's easy to get the framework. So just get the template and then reuse it. Responsive. So Bootstrap can create responsive website with more appropriately on different devices. So you already see it can be adapted to tablet, mobile phone, desktop, laptop, and etc. And you don't need to change anything. So just change the size and etc. It will automatically change for you. And the consistent design. When you see from desktop, it will be the same with what you see in the mobile. Easy to use because the Bootstrap is based on the HTML. And we will learn what the JavaScript because the Bootstrap also connected to the JavaScript. And the other thing is it is compatible with browsers. So if you use Chrome, if you use Firefox, if you use Safari, if you use Internet Explorer, Edge, everything, it supports Bootstrap. And it's free. So that's why I want to teach you about this framework. So let me just give you one example how we can use the Bootstrap as the starting point. For the head section, we need to connect to the Bootstrap. So there are two ways. We can connect to Bootstrap into two particular ways. The first, you need to install the package. It means you need to download and then install in your computer. Or the other way is just use the Content Delivery Network, CDN. For the package installation, download Bootstrap and place the package in your project. I will not use this one. I will use this CDN, Content Delivery Network. It means we need to place the JavaScript file in the head section. For the body section, there are some container. Everything needs to be inside of this container. And row is the all important part of the Bootstrap. And there are some classes that you need to understand to make it better with your user interface. So let's see this one. I have two pages, okay, head and body. So let me copy this one to the Notepad++. And after you copy the head, copy the body part. And you know, head is in the top and body is in the lower part of the body, lower part of the head. And let's save it. Bootstrap example. Okay. Then let's open it. So you can see this Bootstrap can create easily for you about this user interface. Now let's look at the details of the code. This is an HTML file. The title is Bootstrap example. And then the meta is, you can define what are the characters that you want to use. For example, in this case, you can use the Korean character with the A. And then the viewport. The viewport means you need to have some information about the devices that you're going to use. If the viewport is desktop, we can just have the desktop. But in this case, I would like to make adjustable. So it depends on the device. And then the style sheet. So the style sheet means I would like to refer to this link. So you can see this is a link. What is this link? If you connect to this one, so it is a script. Okay, it is provided by the Bootstrap. So you can just directly use it. So you don't need to make from scratch. And this is also another script. This is from Bootstrap in order to create your own user interface. And this is also another script from Bootstrap that has been provided for you to create your website more fancy or more useful. Okay, so they have already all those functions, so you can just use it. And yeah, of course, you need to make your own definition. For example, you need to know what are the classes in the Bootstrap. So they make their own class name. For example, Jumbotron. So this is the class name only in Bootstrap, not in other framework. And then here we have the class complement. So everything in this class should refer to the Bootstrap template. So you need to understand what the Bootstrap provides for you. So for example, you already know about div. Okay, so we learned about div. What is div? It is a kind of block. So we have div and we have row. Okay, so in this case, this is one row. And then we have the first column. The first column indicates that Bootstrap separate into 12 sections. The first 4, it means we want to make the first column with 4 layers. The second 4, it means the middle, and the last 4, it is the right section. So you can change this one 3, 3, 3, 3. So it means there will be 4 sections as long as it is 12 in total. So that kind of things, you need to understand from the Bootstrap template. So this is another example code for 3 columns layout. So you can make 4 columns layout, or you can make 6 column layout. Because it is based on the 12. Okay, I think I don't want to make you confused with more details. We will learn more about this Bootstrap later. So you know many things about the HTML, and you can use the existing Bootstrap. Why don't you try for next week? Make a simple self-introduction about yourself, and then use the HTML you learn from the class as much as possible. Anything you want, just feel free. You can use table, you can use image, you can use form, and etc. And you can try to use Bootstrap. So submit the file into eClass by next week. Okay, so we will learn more about the user interface. So next week I will use PyCharm. So make sure that you install PyCharm in your computer so we can use it for next class. Any questions, comments?